Alright, we're here at 17608 Kingsbury Street in Granada Hills, inspecting this single-story masonry, rebuilt masonry chimney. Lower part's going to be masonry, and the upper part's going to be steel flue and framing. And we had a tree hit the house, so we're just inspecting to make sure everything looks satisfactory inside the flue. Alright, I'm at the about the 9-foot level of the chimney, and I can't get into the flue, the steel flue, so I can't get past the old part of the chimney into the new part of the chimney. And so I'm going to go find out what's causing that, see if there's something that happened to the chimney. Alright, up at the top on this inspection, flashing looks real minimal. Slight damage to the cap, some debris behind the stack. I'm going to take a look and see what's holding it up. Alright, so we're looking at this flue. This is non-code. The flue is supposed to be sealed in. Debris up against the flue. There's a sign of your flashings, all the water damage that's getting around the chimney stack itself. And clearance, that piece of wood right there is touching the pipe. So we definitely have clearance issues on this chimney as well. Alright, that's the top of the chimney. Go out into the nature. Almost 20 feet tall. Okay, so we're in the steel part of the flue. This is where they connect together. We look for kind of bent edges and things in this area here. Those are just spider webs. And so that transition looks pretty good. Okay, this is the second liner. Steel part. That looks satisfactory. Alright, so 3 liner sections, so about 19 foot of chimney. This is the old terracotta here. Below on the lower part, terracotta. And this is the new metal. And you can see that they didn't seal it. A large opening here all the way around. You can see it in this picture here. So we're looking into the terracotta part. And this is a gap between the terracotta liners. And so this is unsatisfactory. What this means is that they didn't add... I'm sorry, I accidentally hit the button. They didn't add a bond beam of concrete to bond the lower half of the chimney to the upper metal half of the chimney. And so this should be completely sealed 100% in this area here. And so that's why I had a difficult time getting into the flue, because there's gapping around it. And so a chimney should be a solid sealed mass from the top to the bottom. At this point the smoke and the flue gases will go up and they'll miss this flue, and they'll go behind it into these areas behind the flue. That'll put them into the framing, the wood framing in the attic, which is not up to code as well, being as it has to be sealed in. Flue needs to be sealed in. And so from basically this point on up, the chimney's going to have to be redone, rebuilt to the proper code. This is where they broke the chimney to add on to it. So again, you can see how unsatisfactory that is. It needs to be a tight seal. Okay, we're in the terracotta liner now. These are the liner joints between each section of terracotta. And you can see moisture has eroded some of those joints. mortar still exists on that end there. And even though it's eroded, there's still mortar in the joint. Okay, this would be considered the transition from the terracotta flue into the smoke chamber. Smoke chamber into the terracotta flue. Has a little creosote, doesn't look too bad. And so that's exactly what it should look like above a tight seal at that point. Alright, so the smoke chamber is pretty solid. There's no real gaps or voids that I found, and a good transition into the terracotta. The damper could use to be extended open a little bit, but it is meeting the code at 4 inches. And the firebox is satisfactory. Alright, and an addendum to the inspection is that the mantle is required to be 6 inches. Any combustible material is required to be 6 inches to the sides, and where it protrudes this much, it needs to be 12 inches above. And so it needs to be higher up for the mantle, where it projects this far out. And so the mantle is not up to code as well. And so in the end, we noticed right off the bat was no flashings around the chimney. That generally indicates fly-by-night quick work. The chimney was rebuilt, but there was no bond beam installed. If there is, it's done improperly or incorrectly. Doesn't appear to be, looks like they just stuck the flue into the old masonry and didn't seal the transition. And so this chimney has to be rebuilt from the roof line of the floor here back on up again and done properly in the attic. And the last thing we'll do is we'll just test the gas to make sure it's running.